What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Horror Delights with your host, Throb Zombie. So today I'm going to be reviewing Godzilla vs. King Kong, and god damn am I excited. If you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of kaijus and possibly maybe the biggest Godzilla fan on the planet. So I've been hyped for this movie for quite some time. But before I get started, let's take a look at some of the chaos. Oh, hey. Well, as you can see, this movie looks absolutely bananas, and no pun intended, it actually is. So, I've been watching Godzilla or Gojira since I was a little kid, and I just absolutely love it. From the old school days with the different suits to now with these CGI versions, it made me actually start to love some of the American versions of Godzilla, because let's face it, the one with Matthew Broderick, I mean, it literally destroyed me. That they had no business trying to make that movie. Godzilla was a tiny little iguana. I mean, don't even get me started. But when they announced they were rebooting it with Bryan Cranston, I actually got to say I was happy because I liked the design they were showing of Godzilla. When I actually got to see it, I got to say the movie was a little drawn out and slow paced for me. But what saved it was Bryan Cranston and the epic fight at the end. Then followed up by obviously Kong, which I loved everything about. It made me have a new love for Kong. I've always liked Kong, not as much as Godzilla, but he was totally badass and he lived up to the name and kind of presented him the way we wanted to see him, just raw and powerful and, obviously not slow stop motion, which was great for the time when we were younger. But now, with the way things are, we'd be able to see him on a scale we can believe it's a giant ape that just wants to beat the living hell out of God knows what. That being said, like I said, then follow-up was King of the Monsters. Now, the one thing that drives me nuts about all these movies is everything is so slow-paced. I love to see these characters and this, that, and the other, but at the end, what always ends up happening is it takes to the very last 15 minutes for them to actually show a fight. What was badass about King of Monsters is I went to go see it with some stunt buddy of mine to see an advanced screening. And we were pleasantly surprised because you got to see multiple Titans and there was multiple, huge battles throughout the entire thing, and they were over the top but breathtaking, which obviously leads up to now this Godzilla vs. King Kong. And one of the things to me that I gotta say I think is most impressive is that they actually took the time to have character development for the Titans. I really don't care about the people so much. A couple of them are recurring characters. I'm not saying they're bad, but they actually focused on the Titans, and it was actually pretty cool to get a little bit of backstory. They also go into the whole Middle Earth thing, which obviously opens up some huge opportunities in the future. That's all I'm going to say about that, but that was pretty cool that they obviously explore that with Kong. The other thing too is that Godzilla and Kong get a ton of screen time. Usually in films like this, like I said, you usually see them a glance here and there and then one big fight at the end. No, you get to see them multiple times. The fights were jaw-dropping. Yes, you get more than one fight. That's another epic thing about this. There's tons of fights in this, and every time it was going on, you felt every punch, and the scale of it was just jaw-dropping. I can't quite describe it, but I guess the best way to put it is the level of CGI in this was like if they had PS6. And to me, the only thing that was missing was health bars. Every time there was a fight, you felt every blow, and you saw that there just was just the rawness of two animals fighting for dominance. Some of the other things I got to say about this is, I could relate more to the Titans than the humans. Don't get me wrong, there was a few characters like the little girl or the conspiracy theorist who had a podcast whose characters I really liked, and they actually helped, with the story. But some of the other ones were unnecessary. So I'm glad that there was enough action and the pacing was, upbeat enough to get me past that. But all in all, this is all I can ask for in a kaiju movie, and the scale of it is unbelievable. I mean, it was 2 hours long, and one of the other things I could say is wrong with it is that it wasn't 4 hours. So again, if you want big dumb fun, nonstop action, and a movie that, despite could be silly at times, has a ton of heart, Godzilla vs. King Kong is where it's at. I can't express more. I hope you get out there and see this film or stream it on HBO Max. It was just so epic. And it was, you know, it was even actually a moment in that I teared up, but I won't go into that. I'm going to do a follow-up review. I just wanted to get this out there after I got the chance to view it for the second time and put my thoughts out there. But I really hope you enjoyed the film, and thanks for tuning into another episode of Horror Delights.